Hello and welcome to Math Lessons with Linda. Today's topic is factoring by grouping, so let's get right into it. Our expression that we want to factor today is 25m to the third plus 5m squared plus 30m plus 6. The thing to notice when you need to use grouping is that you have an expression that has 4 terms. Normally when we have been factoring, we have either had 2 terms, which is a dots, or 3 terms, which is a trinomial. But this time we've got 4 terms. So we're going to do what the name implies. We are going to group together some of these terms to factor. I'm going to take the first 2 terms and group those, and the last 2 terms and group those. For each of these, we are going to do a smaller factoring problem first, which is a GCF. So let's start with our first 2 terms here. I can look at the numbers 25 and 5 and determine that I can take out a 5 as the greatest common factor. They also both have an m squared, so I can take an m squared out. Now, in the parentheses, I write down what I have left. So for this one, 25 divided by 5 is a 5. I've taken out 2 m's from 3 m's, so I have an m to the first. And for my last term, everything divides out evenly, but don't forget that placeholder means you have a 1 left over. If I didn't write a 1, it would be almost like that term didn't exist. I have to keep a placeholder. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my last 2 terms. I'm going to find a GCF. And in this case, I only can take out a 6. So I'm going to do 30 divided by 6, which gives me a 5, and I keep the m since I'm not factoring that out. And 6 divided by 6 leaves me with that factor of 1. So what you should have at this point, if you did the grouping correctly, is the values in the parentheses should be the same thing. I got 5m plus 1 for each of them. So now, my last step, you've done all of the hard part. I'm going to factor out this entire parenthesis from each of these. I've got like these 2 giant terms. I'm going to put them in brackets. This 5m is the GCF for each of these. So I'm going to write that out front, 5m plus 1. I'm taking that out of each one. And then what's left are these factors that I'd taken out before. I've got a 5m squared plus 6. This is my factored polynomial using my grouping method.